How's it going, everybody? This is Zachary Perez, and this is my video for values, faith, and beliefs of leadership. The first question asks, are leaders born or developed? My personal belief is that leaders are actually developed throughout time rather than just straight born into their position. I found a little article in the American Journal of Pharmaceutical Education that states that there are certain inborn characteristics that predispose people to become and to be leaders in the future. And they kind of back up that statement by saying there's a significant difference between those who learn a skill and master one. And I feel like it's the same thing for a leadership skill. We can teach all the skills and everything of a leadership, but it's one thing for one kid to master one and one kid just to learn it. And I feel like those who master it end up being the ones who succeed in leading, whether it be on the court or in their profession later on in life. The next question states, what qualities make an effective leader? A few of the qualities that I believe make an effective leader that I found in the book were patience, responsibility, empathy, and passion. We'll start off with patience. I believe a leader does have to have patience. Basically, to kind of just settle everybody down, get everybody on the same page when things aren't really going in the right direction or are not going as planned, to kind of settle everybody down and get everybody on the same page and push toward the right direction again. So I think that's extremely important. The next thing is responsibility. I believe that responsibility is something that a leadership takes ownership of. He's responsible for himself, for others, how he conducts himself, how others conduct themselves, and kind of puts that ownership of responsibility on himself and kind of leads by example. So responsibility is definitely a big one that I agree with, that the book kind of states. The next one being empathy. I believe empathy is something that every leader kind of needs to have and embrace, because not everybody's the same. You can't talk to two people the same way if they're not going to respond the same. So having empathy and compassion for one another is something that a leader should have and kind of should embrace, and ultimately will have them be successful because he can relate to others, others can relate to him, and everybody kind of gravitates towards that individual. And the last one is definitely being passionate. I truly believe that if you're passionate and you're doing things 100%, you kind of prove yourself by doing, and it gives you kind of a good sense of conducting yourself in the right manner. There's always different types of leaders. There's the silent guys, the silent leaders, the loud talkative ones. But I truly believe if you're passionate about something, hard work overcomes success any day of the week. So being that leader, being someone that can be looked up to as an example is something that passion kind of really goes hand in hand with, and I believe it's something that you truly need. What impacts do my values, faith, and beliefs have on coaching? It's definitely a big one. I ran into a article called "The Impact of Faith and Experience on Development and Coaching Philosophies" in the Penn State University Library, and it kind of stated how your beliefs and behaviors kind of characterize a coach's practice. And I really believe that a lot of my beliefs kind of help me determine how I coach my student athletes. It basically determines how I define success, what I hope to accomplish, and basically how I treat my players, opponents, how I conduct myself in front of parents, and so on and so forth. So it's definitely the values and beliefs and everything kind of really determine a lot of my coaching philosophies. Another big thing is it really draws responses of how I discipline an individual. If something goes wrong, if someone breaks a rule, you can't just necessarily treat everyone the same way. Let's say an individual is smart and he's just not trying hard. You might kick that person off the court compared to someone who's not understanding and kind of doesn't grasp concepts very well. You kind of have to walk them through it, teach them it, and you're not going to kick them off the court right away. So yeah, definitely values and beliefs and everything are big factors on how I conduct myself, how I want players to conduct themselves, and how I want everyone to be a respectable individual moving forward on and off the court. The last question is describe what those qualities look like in real life. Like I said before, different people, different discipline. You have to understand where each person is coming from. That's not to say that you treat someone better than the other, but kind of just knowing your players, knowing how to get the best out of them, knowing your students, knowing how to extract the most out of them to get them to reach their full potential is something that you kind of have to play with to understand and get them doing that. Obviously, I talk to my players differently than I talk to parents or students, like I said before. And other qualities basically is, what I want my athletes to get out of everything that I teach them, or all my students that I teach them, is basically to develop a sense of self-worth and confidence and determination to really push themselves on and off the court. I really believe if you have those factors, you can kind of, elevate yourself not only on the court but off the court as well, and really succeed in what you want to do in life, whether it be just be an average respectable person or be a respectable leader in the future. So other than that, I hope you guys kind of feel where I'm coming from, how I feel about leaders and whether they're born or developed, and kind of get a grasp for my values and faiths and beliefs. And yeah, so have a good day, guys.